Cup matches.
That just goes to
This
show you
is
you know
Philo
how to
First
whiz
Big
me
Mike,
down.
and I'm joined by Quan Rise once again.
Yep, hello. So, I was actually absent for the third game, so can we recap over what happened yesterday?
First of many
So yeah, okay, let's do a recap of all three games you're saying?
Yeah, generally, like who
Alright.
won and all of that.
Alright, so game one, Noxus pulled out a win yesterday. It was reasonably close. Like, the early game, Zaun seemed to be pulling ahead, but then once the mid-game happened, Noxus took control, kind of just ran with it. Game two, it was a little back and forth, but Zaun had control most of the game and ended up winning. And then game three, it was pretty solid game for Noxus. They were just dominating from the start. Well, not dominating, but we're in the lead from the start, and pulled out a second win for the day. So Noxus went 2-1 yesterday. Zaun needs to win a couple games today in order to try to make up for that.
Right. And it looks like we have a new member here, Minimath002. Welcome to Factions, Minimath, even though you're just kind of a friend, but you're new here.
Yeah, I think that was Simi Simi was the one who invited him.
Right, thanks to me, where you got this game started. It's only like 20 minutes late, but
Yeah, that's typical for factions, especially when we don't have the 10-minute cutoff like we do with normal features. It's people like to show up late. So Zaun being grabbed in, looking like he's gonna be top lane, a bit odd, just considering in terms of junglers, Noxus is pretty limited. Oh, okay, so there's
Yep, they swapped it up. So Darius in the top lane, and Zaun goes for jungle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know Pinky likes to go top, and he was rocking the flash teleport, no smite, so I would say it'd be interesting if they really wanted to go with Darius jungle, because he's pretty much their only choice besides Zaun.
And then on the other side, we have Random Nom playing Twitch. I know Random Nom's a really good Twitch. And Rex playing Janna, so pretty good bot lane, scales very well into the late game as well.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone saw game 2 yesterday when Zaun won, Random Nom on Twitch was just too much for anyone to handle. You're gonna, Noxus is gonna want to make sure to take him out of the fight as early as possible, which, given he's gonna have a Janna protecting him, won't necessarily be all that easy.
Or actually, they pick up Jinx as well, it's a double ADC comp for
It's
Zaun.
a Twitch jungle, it seems. Oh, yeah, I don't see it often, but I think everyone just about seeing someone do Twitch jungle on occasion, just because he has the stealth, he can kind of gank.
Does it actually work? I'm not too familiar with it. I have seen it once. It sort of failed pretty badly.
I've seen it a couple
How
times.
strong is it?
It can work out good. It's just Twitch isn't gonna bring any CC, but he can sneak up right behind the person, and then he can bring a lot of damage to it. So it's all about, can they kill the person, the enemy laner, fast enough? It's all about just because he's just bringing a ton of damage. No gap closer, no CC or anything like that. So it's all about just trying to blow them up as fast as possible. And so yeah, if he goes to a lane with damage, the Jinx and Victor got some decent damage, so mid and bot lane be pretty good. But going top with Mundo, he's not going to have a ton of damage, and he's up against a tanky Darius, so going top lane might not work too well for him, but mid and bot ought to work out decently.
Right. Looking over at the Noxus side, we also have LeBlanc in the mid lane. We'll be going up against the Victor. The matchup is pretty interesting. I will say that LeBlanc is powerful with her wave clear, and I don't really know if the Gunblade build is still used. I really do hope that Simi will pull that out.
Yeah. It is surprising that Evil Shadow, the Diamond 1 mid lane main, who is feared on LeBlanc and Swain and Katarina, is not going a mid laner this game. I remember, though, in Game 3, there from yesterday, Simi and Risa are both ADC players, and so they both kind of, only want to go the ADC role. And so it's kind of like one of them has to go, the ADC, and the other one has to go somewhere else. And I guess Simi was just like, I don't go anywhere but ADC that often, but I guess mid lane would be my best second choice. And so Evil Shadow swapped out to let him do that.
So he plays ADC. What if Simi's pulling out the ADC LeBlanc this time?
Then where's Draven going?
Also ADC. ADC LeBlanc mid. This is what it's gonna be.
I mean, she has a ranged auto attack. In theory, you can make an ADC work on anyone with a ranged auto attack. You just stand there and auto attack people. And you have some LeBlanc mobility.
Right, something interesting. Before the LeBlanc rework, her passive, her clone, it didn't do damage. It didn't apply auto attack damage, but it did apply on hit effects. So, like, let's say you had a red buff on old LeBlanc. If your clone auto attacked the character, it would apply the red buff.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really mean too much, but applying on hit effects sort of made LeBlanc a viable. Not viable, but like auto attack based character if you wanted to do that.
I know you used to be able to, Duskblade, the old damage proc. I think they changed it, but you remember how it used to basically be like a Z ult on Duskblade?
Right.
You could get LeBlanc's clone to proc that, but she would have 0 AD, the clone, so it would proc, it just wouldn't really do any damage. Alright, so looking at bottom lane is Risa on Draven, Evil Shadow Morgana up against Sodaman on Jinx, and Rex Treff on Janna.
Looking at it from like just champions, if Morgana can hit her binds, Draven can snowball and they can get away with the lane. However, if they don't pick up kills early on, then the Janna will outscale the Morgana simply by being a better shielding peel support. And Jinx should outscale a Draven, assuming the Draven doesn't get insanely fed early on.
Yeah, that's Draven for you right there in a nutshell. I think it's all about just you have a massive amount of early game damage with those axes, and you unlike most ADCs that want to scale, he's about trying to bully that other ADC in the lane and trying to pick up kills, use that adoration passive to just hyper scale in a sense. He doesn't scale the best, but he hyper scales in that he just gets a ton of gold really fast through that passive.
Right, I am expecting them to play extremely aggro bot lane and hopefully draw some pressure.
Yeah.
If they do get ahead, because like when you play ADC, the goal is to have more items relative to your enemies in order to be able to do more damage to them.
Yeah, that's something I was noticing. Like you said, they gotta go aggro, and Janna and Jinx do have some ways to try to deal with aggro or aggressive bot lanes. The Jinx has her Flame Chomper she can put down, and Janna has that Tornado CC and the slow and her ultimate to try to keep people off of them. But the Morgana Black Shield should be able to allow Draven to be more aggressive and just kind of ignore some of that stuff. Like, he can walk right over those Flame Chompers if he's got the Morgana Shield and just keep going after that Jinx.
You see anything interesting with the masteries or summoner spell choice?
Well, let's see. Nothing too crazy. Oh wait, is that Grasp of the Undying on Scion?
Yes it is.
Alright, well, that would be the one thing I would think is a little unusual, just because junglers, they're not going to get much use of Grasp of the Undying. It's going, you might be able to proc it off one time per gank if the gank, but it's, that's not going to add that much damage to the gank, and it's not going to help you at all while you're trying to clear jungle. So I don't think that's generally a very smart thing to get. I would think Courage of the Colossus because of all the CC he has, or the man, I forgot what they called because they changed this, kind of like that new Keystone Mastery, but it gives you like 5% increased total health, which goes great on Slam.
Yes. Well, I don't play tanks, so I couldn't be able to tell you. All that's supported is like Thunderlords, so.
Just Thunderlords. If
Just
you're going
get Thunderlords when in doubt, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's been Thunderlords ever since it came out. It's just if you don't know what to do, just grab Thunderlords. Everyone loves it.
Yep.
Let me.
I do like the barrier choice for mini-maths, because there's always been this debate, right, about whether you take barrier or heal. Then heal came into prominence over the past few seasons, but now mid laners are reverting back to getting barrier, because even though it's only like a temporary shield, it does, for one thing, mitigate the healing reduction from grievous wounds, which is from the Ignite, and it also, generally speaking, has more shielding than heal gives health.
Yeah, assuming they go through the entire shield, obviously, because if you heal, you keep that health permanently. But if you shield and then they don't attack you, you got no use out of it. But I've always felt that heal is good in the bottom lane when you got that duo and you want to get that extra health on multiple people. But mid lane being solo, I rather just take the barrier, mainly because I think it has a shorter cooldown, so you're just gonna be able to use it more often.
Looks like standard red starts for both sides will be interesting, because they'll end up on opposite sides of the map.
Yeah. Now, Draven, is one of the few ADCs where I actually kind of prefer to leash for the jungler, just because you get like 3 stacks of adoration before you even get to lane. So it's a pretty mild game, like 3 gold potentially, but it's just something I like
Actually,
getting.
bot lane, taking a pretty bad trade.
Oh man, the heals!
Going low.
So they focused the Janna, and then Jinx was just like pounding on Draven, and so that's not the best trade, just because Janna, she's the support. She got 3 health biscuits, is going to heal up. Draven, he also got 3 health biscuits because he didn't grab the Doran's blade, but that still means
we look at the top.
Oh boy,
Level 2 gank by the Twitch. Flashes on both sides, and they pick up the first blood by Twitch. Well played by the Zaun side.
Yeah. Oh, Draven going aggressive. He's getting damage out the exhaust, saving Jinx, and oh man, yeah, that's what happens.
No way. Go up.
Yeah, that was nicely done. He was trying to fight Jinx, but Jinx got away. The whole time Jan was just putting out damage, and that spell shield will only block magic damage, so Janna just starts auto-attacking, and she's gonna be able to take out Draven because he's just so low on health. Morgana trying to bait the fight. Zaun going after Janna might be a mistake, but it looks like they're gonna get away with it. Oh no, Evil Shadow doesn't back off.
The minion.
Why did Evil Shadow not back off? I don't know.
Man, maybe he thought the jungler was gonna, finish off the Janna, but went for a minion. Misclick there, might have cost a life.
Indeed it did. So yeah, that, will put Noxus up a kill, but pretty close in terms of gold. Top lane, Darius trying to fight Mundo. He's trading decently considering he's a level down, but Mundo definitely, coming out healthier.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's so many early level trades going on at level 2 and 3. Already a bunch of summoner spells going down. This is good for the junglers who like to gank a lot, because when flushes are down, that'll be free kills. Especially for the Twitch, you might be able to snowball off of this.
Yeah, Sion, I don't think he has that great of gank potential before level 6, because it's hard to get that Q off. You have to get in range of them. And wow, a really aggressive play bot side, and they turned the gank into a kill.
Alright, that was Twitch looking for an opportunity to gank, because he knows that summoners are down bot, but I guess there was some miscommunication. Also, the minion wave really hurts early on.
Yeah. Honestly, there are early on, you might as well be rather fighting an enemy champion than a minion wave. And Mundo goes after the Darius. Darius just can't put up the damage fast enough. Mundo now trying to get away from this Scion. Nice flash. Looks like he's going to get away. Mundo already burnt his flash, but now, or Scion already burnt his flash, but now Mundo's going in, and yeah, he quickly lives to regret that decision of going back in. Draven trying to put damage on the Jinx. Now they're focusing Janna. Janna backs off. They're going after the Jinx, but he takes a lot of damage from the Jinx. And they back off.
Mid lane also saw a bit of action. Sumi taking a tower hit. Kind of hurts the trade.
Yeah, tower hits, you want to avoid those unless you're going for that tower diving. You know you can get the kill. But if you're just taking tower aggro, that's pretty much free harass that you just gave away.
Alright, Twitch has like 5 CS. I know junglers don't really CS too much, but that's still pretty low, even for a jungler.
So I got a question for you. You say you don't see jungler CS that much. I have seen way too many games where like the junglers have the most CS in the entire game because they will show up till they won't gank that much, but they'll like whenever someone recalls, they'll just go in there and start clearing waves, and so they just have a ton of CS as the game goes on. And it's like I've always just figured like I think it's more productive to gank, but I see everyone else always just farming. So what do you think?
Well, I mean, it always depends on the jungler, of course. Like, I'd rather have a Master Yi farm than go for a gank. I'd have a Shyvana farm, but I'd rather have a Lee Sin gank. It really depends on the player and how they want to jungle, so it's very, very flexible. In this scenario, I do think it's more optimal for ganking, which is good for Random because he's been ganking a lot. Because there's like so many summoner spell usages.
Yeah. Meanwhile, bot side, we saw a fight go down. Draven got pretty low, got forced to back off, but Morgana was able to put a lot of damage on Jinx. Oh, Darius getting the max stacks. Now he has his ultimate, so he might be able to take on Mundo with his ultimate. Just because if he tries to, take on Mundo, he's going to be regenerating himself through the entire fight. He kind of needs that big burst of damage from his ult in order to try to take Mundo down. So now he finally has a chance, I think, to try kill Mundo. But Mundo's been handling himself pretty well, and, it's certainly still going to be a struggle top lane.
Right, looks like things have calmed down a bit. Very nice. People are hitting their level 6 power spikes, getting their ults. I would like to see a rotation for... But nope, there's a 1v1 top lane.
Is
Darius
he gonna
getting
get the ult
5
off?
stacks.
Yeah, that's the Mundo heal. He never got the ult off. He should have gotten it off while he had the chance, because if he had put that damage on Mundo, yeah, he wouldn't have got that, reset that you want on the Darius ultimate. But if he had put that ult on Mundo while he had the full stacks, it would have been a lot more damage and would have discouraged him from re-engaging and getting the kill like he did. LeBlanc in trouble. Nice rotation by the Twitch game behind her. Fee and Victor surround her. Now she's running for her life, and now Sion desperately trying to just get on the Jinx face. And it's a close fight between the support and the mid lane. They're auto-attacking the Q! Oh, they can't quite finish each other off. Draven going for the Twitch. Can he get one more auto attack? There it is, he gets it, and he cashes in those adoration stacks. Jinx with the ultimate picks off the LeBlanc.
Overall, a 3-4-2 in favor of Zaun.
Yeah. That'll put them ever so slightly ahead, not by that much. Unfortunately for them, they had enough deaths where they could try to go for a quick dragon after that, because that fight was, right next to dragon, and Earth Dragon's pretty darn valuable. But when they, took, those 2 casualties, they, one of them being their jungler, they just didn't have the control they wanted to go for dragon.
Right.
Darius looked like he was trying to get in range for a pull. Here comes Sion now. He gets the slow, gets the knockup. There's the Darius pull. He's getting the damage out. Will he pop the ult?
Oh, and they don't pick up the Mundo.
All Darius needed to do was ult, and he didn't.
Yeah, but Draven picks up the kill mid.
Yeah.
Regarding the fight top lane, I'm not sure how much damage Darius ult does, but
Now
I'll
he
pick it
does
up
it.
anyways. Yeah, because what I've heard from Darius players is that if they don't get 5 stacks, their ult does like minimal damage. It doesn't really do much.
I think it's an increase of 20% per stack. I think he had at least 3 stacks on the Mundo. I'm pretty sure he hit him at least 3 times. So I think, 20%, that's a per stack with 3 stacks. That's a 60% increase. Meanwhile, nice job Morgana catching out the Jinx and calls in LeBlanc for backup, and LeBlanc will get a nice quick kill off of it.
Good pickup, good setup by the Morgana.
Now, we talked a bit about, they have the double ADC comp on Zaun, which means they're going to have a lot of late game damage, a lot of DPS damage. But that does leave Mundo as, the entirety of their front line. They don't have the ability to engage, and they really they're going to need to be very careful about Noxus engaging on them once we start seeing some more team fights as we're getting into the mid game. And, Janet can do a little bit of disengage, but she can't do everything. And so it's going to be a lot of pressure on Mundo to try to create some extra disengage to protect those carries.
If we're comparing the number of tanks on each side, the Noxus has 2, sort of, if you count Darius as like a semi-tank, and Zaun being the pure tank, and they only have 1 on the Zaun side, with Mundo as the tank.
Yeah. And I think Noxus has, the more aggressive engage potential. Like, Zaun, there's really nothing they can do to try, forcibly engage on the enemy team. Noxus, though, they can use the LeBlanc catches and Zaun ults and Morgana bindings as well to just, force a fight when they want it and take advantage of their tankier front line.
At the same time, it does feel like that Noxus is sort of on a timer, because they don't scale as well. It really will be up to Evil Shadow at the picks, like he did. Good bind. Good bind on the setup.
Can he get away? He's got that ult on. He's trying to use the axes, because, Draven, whenever he catches an axe, he resets that W, which gives him a speed boost. So it's like, you catch the axe, you get a speed boost, you throw another axe, you catch it, you get another speed boost. He's trying to do that, but yeah, he just couldn't get away from that Victor ult.
Maybe LeBlanc. Simi wants to make a move down bot. They're not low enough, and there is no minion wave, but they're calling in Morgana also if she hits a bind. Wow.
Looks like that's just going to be, really solid stuff by the Twitch.
I think that was a pretty good bait, using the barrier.
Yeah. Now Zaun going or Twitch harassing Zaun. Zaun trying to kill him. He certainly was winning that 1v1, but as he saw Janus show up and knew Jinx was coming as well, he had to get out of there. And now Janus just trying to slow down his jungle clear. Here comes the Draven, missing the shot. He's not going to get the slow. There's the axe stand aside. They get the knock up and they get the kill. Nicely done. Jan just being way too aggressive there. It's like, yeah, you're trying to slow down the Zaun from clearing his jungle. And wait, Draven, just the Jinx ult. He kind of took the wrong path to get back to lane. Got himself exposed.
Right, that's the thing with Janna. Because you're so mobile, you think you could get away from everything because you have so much move speed, right? You're like, I could walk out of this, but sometimes you just end up catching you and you die because you're so squishy.
And then you have that move speed, but that's only if you don't cast your W. And then you cast your W, slow someone down. It's like, okay, you slow them, but then the other person next to them isn't slowed, and you no longer have your movement speed, and you're no longer mobile.
Right. When running away as a Janna, you don't want to cast your W because it's like a self slow.
Yeah, it's like I'll slow the enemy, but I'll slow myself almost, or if not more, almost as much, if not more. It's yeah.
Oh, I've heard about this build. The Rises build. It's double BF sword, so you get a lot of AD, but it doesn't really build into anything early on.
Yeah, because you're spending all that money into 2 BF swords, your your power spike is later on. Yeah, that's. And
oh wait, was that the Twitch place?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, when you get that double BF sword, that does mean you can really abuse that AD scaling on your Q. Yeah, like you said, it means you're gonna be taking forever to complete a full item.
On one hand, I like it because you have more damage early on, right?
Yeah.
So you have the ability to scale up more, and then you're stronger right now, right?
You're banking.
And it prevents you from being able to. It takes a while for your items to come in, though.
Yeah.
So it's like an all-in approach, basically.
Yeah, so
Nice
feast or
flash
famine.
by random.
Yeah, nicely done. Zaun going after the Jinx. LeBlanc gonna get onto Twitch, takes him out. Oh, Zaun in trouble though. He's gonna flash out. The flash after him, getting those long-range Q auto attacks. And now she has the speed boost, trying to get away. Morgana missed the binding, but now she has the ult. Zaun try and put down auto attacks, and yeah, they managed to kill her.
Good trade for Noxus. They can pick up more kills.
Darius trying to fight this middle. He's getting 4 stacks. There's 5. He just needs to put a little more damage. He can execute with the ult, but it's not looking like he's going to be able to catch up. And now Mundo's going to heal up through his ultimate, and Darius is going to be at a disadvantage.
I think we're at that point where Mundo outscales Darius in the sense that he's too tanky for Darius to be able to take down reliably.
Yeah. And that's why I was kind of saying earlier, if you saw in that fight, Mundo was low, not quite killable with the Darius ultimate, but low. Of course, he was healing up rapidly with his ultimate. I think Darius, what he needs to do, once he gets those 5 stacks on Mundo, assuming it's still just a 1v1 between the two, is he needs to just pop that ult. Because if he doesn't pop the ult, hoping to use it for a kill later, it just means Mundo's going to heal up with a ton of health, and you won't be able to get those 5 stacks up fast enough in the next fight. And so Mundo's just going to have a ton of health. You won't be able to answer it. So you have to pop that ult. So Mundo has low health before the start of the next fight, and so he won't be looking for an engage.
They are pretty committed to the 1v1 top. Do you think Darius should get like an Executioner's Calling or something?
I don't know. That's I mean, well, let's see after this fight here. Yeah, they pick up the kill. Looks like Darius actually got it with the axe pull. And so as for the Executioner's Calling, I think not. Honestly, I think what they need to do is not go for the 1v1 top lane. Just because obviously he's not winning it, and he should just focus on building the items he needs to help his team in team fighting. Because I just don't think
Fair point.
Yeah, I just don't think going up against the Mundo 1v1 split push competition is just very productive. Zaun ults, misses the Jinx. I think she didn't even have to burn flash. That's not up. But yeah, now she's just trying to put out some damage before she dies. Simi picks up the kill.
That feeling when you're running away, but you're running to the wrong base.
It's like you just have no choice. It's like you have to run in this direction or you're dead. And yeah, they catch up to the Twitch. They kill him, and now Draven, he needs to just run away. He kind of stuck around trying to potentially help out the Darius when he really couldn't help him. And now he's going to pay for it. Yeah, basically what they need to do is, like, they got the Twitch kill, and then they did, a nice rotate. They had the Mundo teleporting in and the Victor rotating up. And they couldn't win that fight. They got the Twitch kill. Darius was definitely dead, and Draven needed to just abandon him and run for the hills and try to get out of there. But instead of just instantly running away, try to stick around for a little bit. And because of that little bit, he got caught out.
Overall, the match has been going pretty even.
Yeah.
Slightly in favor of Zaun, which is good for them because they scale up harder. There is no way that Noxus will win unless Morgana gets a pick.
Well, I will.
Like game-winning pick.
Oh, she's going for the ultimate, but she is so low. She was taking on 3 people by herself, and then Mundo came for a 4th. She was just hoping her team would rotate to her fast enough, and they couldn't.
I think it was a good idea. They did get the Janna, who's fairly squishy.
Janna's alive, though, so they didn't actually get her.
Yeah, the team has to capitalize, and I think they're gonna fight the 4v5. It's not gonna go well, though.
Yeah, that was a fight where they were lacking in the Scion ult for their big aggressive engage, which is one of their biggest advantages against Zaun in a team fight, is they can now engage them. And yeah.
That's gonna be an unofficial ace.
Yeah.
Good. Morgana responded times, so it's not really an ace.
Yeah, so she's gonna need to just stay back. She's not gonna be able to stop these people, and the last thing Zaun or Noxus needs is to, lose another person.
Right,
Minions pushing the bot side tower. They might be able to put some damage on that. Minions. We were talking about that yesterday. Game 1 MVP was the Minions.
At this point, though, I don't think they're gonna do enough meaningful damage. The tower will take some damage, but Noxus is not in a position to get the bot tower. It's good enough if they get like any towers, to be honest, and you'd probably want to focus the top or mid tower at this point.
Yeah. So now we have
Yeah. Oh, go on. Yeah.
So basically, I was just pointing out that now we have like the first official lead, because before it was like, okay, Noxus be up by like 1k, Zombie up by 1k, going a little back and forth. Now we have like the first official thing that you could call a true lead with 5k in favor of Zaun. And oh wow, that was just really, really good job getting the Morgana Dark Binding, getting that pick, Scion following up with ult to get in there and make sure the CC chain continues. But now they're engaging on the Darius. That is not smart. They need to take out the Twitch. Twitch goes into the middle of the Noxian team, gets blown up. Now Darius trying to go after the Jinx, but he's gone. And now they're trying to get to those squishies. They're ignoring Mundo. They take out the Janna. Draven chasing the Jinx. She flashes out of there. Now she's looking pretty safe. They're trying to kill Mundo before he takes out Scion. Draven putting out a lot of damage. Looks like he should be able to get the kill, but here comes Jinx. And she's not going to be able to actually get anything to happen. Draven not quite able to finish her off. That was a lot of damage from that Q, but he does have a crit chance. If he had crit, he might have been able to get a lucky crit off that Q and burst all of her health almost.
That was a very good pick by Evil. And then the decision to engage 4v5, even though they're ahead, and the fight did come out very close, was somewhat questionable by Zaun. And then the whole ADC flashes into the middle of the enemy team.
Yeah, that was pretty big. Let's just say that was a pretty big factor in that fight. I mean, their engage was kind of partially based off the fact that Noxus was not in the best position to fight. They weren't, in the best formation to try to go for a team fight. And so despite being, 4v5, maybe they might be able to make something happen. But honestly, it was just a huge risk that he didn't need to take, and it definitely bit them in the butt.
I think it's okay, because he's not really the ADC, right? He's the jungler, so when you hear the jungler flashes into the back lane, it doesn't sound so bad.
Yeah, if you can twist it that way, I suppose. So Noxus about 3k down. They were 5k before that fight in the mid lane that we just saw. So they made up some gold. That 3k lead, it's not that much. 3k is roughly an item. But that's if it's on a single person. You spread it across an entire team, then they don't really have that much power advantage. So Zaun really shouldn't be playing like they're ahead, as in they can take any fight they want. They need to, definitely be careful and avoiding getting deep into team fights, and avoid just having Twitch game picked off like that.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's just Yeah,
it's only the squishies left. They could go in on this.
LeBlanc going down. Here goes Darius. He's trying to get Victor. Here comes Morgana. They flash out for ultimate. Draven takes out the Jinx. ADC deleted. That's both ADCs gone. Only Draven is the main damage dealer left. Victor he hasn't really been that much of a threat to Draven in this game, I think. So he's got to be careful.
Victor is 150 CS, 4-1 and 9. He could be a very potential threat if he's willing to go in on it, but he is taking it. He is playing very safe, which is good.
Yeah.
Only one death, that's very commendable compared to like the bloodbath that we've seen going on.
Yeah, I just haven't really seen Victor go for the Draven. He's always just like, okay, who's in front of me? You know, deal with the guy who's the threat to me, not the damage-dealing threat to my team. Which, you know, depending on the situation, may be the right thing too. Like when your big carry ADC, dies at the start of the fight, it might be a good idea. Yeah, let's just not try to follow that up with more heavy diving and just try to play it safe. Darius in trouble. He's just trying to put out a little bit of damage before he dies, and then he goes down. And
Jinx also in trouble, but the Vine misses, so...
Oh man!
We actually lose the trade.
That's...
Good out.
When the assassin is running from the ADC in a 1v1. I mean...
Good flash, good jukes.
I mean, I think
you know how Riot changes it.
Yeah.
You get punished as an assassin if you miss a skill shot.
I mean, the Zaun going very aggressive. He's got no one to back him up. Finally, Morgana shows. He's making good use of that gargoyle plate. What's it called? Gargoyle plate? Or
yeah, gargoyle something.
Stone plate.
So it gives a lot of health.
Yeah. It gives a bunch of resistances, and then you have an active. It gives you health, but if you have like its passive going where you get bonus damage for having 3 or more enemy champions near you, if you have that passive active while you activate the active component, it gives you, I think, plus 100% bonus health. Let me read it.
Yeah, I like the playstyle that Noxus is enforcing right now. You're like a pack of wolves, right?
Yeah.
Once you see a target isolated, everyone just jumps on them, and then that's how they pick up a kill, and that's how they're getting back into the game.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna get this Baron up. Yeah. Unless there's a miracle steal, they should be able to get this Baron. Yeah, they get it down before anyone really even gets in there. Oh man, Twitch! Twitch is so aggressive this game. Oh my goodness.
They don't have vision. They don't have vision, so they just face checked into it and they get picked off.
Yeah. I mean, but Twitch this game in general has just been super aggressive. It might be like, you know, he's the jungler, so he's got a different mentality than playing ADC. But it's definitely hurt him a few times.
Yeah, and with this Baron, Noxus could probably go in, get some towers, and get a gold lead potentially. They do have a gold lead already, actually.
Zaun tries to engage, and it backfires. He just gets deleted. Can't get out of there. Yeah, so
a little bit of BM. All you could do.
Yeah, that's all you can do is just try to, you know, turn your death into somehow tilting the enemy.
Alright, that'll stall out the offense a bit. 4v5.
Oh, the Victor not quite going down. Nice shield from the Janet. Keep him alive. Even pops the ult. Just be safe. It looked like the shield was enough, but the ultimate was just extra insurance. Draven ult comes out. Not able to do it.
Victor also used barrier there, so that's where the summoner spell choice comes in handy.
Yeah. If
he had heal, I think he would have died because LeBlanc has Morello Nomicon.
And there was Ignite on him, so, you know, Ignite also has Grievous Wounds. So definitely he would have not been able to heal as much. Grievous Wounds were definitely on him. Draven in trouble, but he heals up very nicely. With that massive damage from his Q and the Bloodthirster, it's really hard to keep damage on him. I mean, you can see Draven...
Now, even with the Baron buff, I still don't think they win the 5v5, barring Twitch doesn't, like, flash in or something. If they get a pick, though, onto either of the ADCs, or the Victor, or the support, basically anyone... Oh. Darius flashing in.
Oh, here comes the Zaun. This, I think, yeah, you were saying Well, let's just watch the fight, then we can get into it. Yeah, basically Nox is just engaging and trying to overwhelm, but they're only getting the front line, really. They're not getting to the carries. They're not getting the Victor. They're not getting the Jinx. They put a lot of damage on the Mundo. They did pick up 2 kills, though, but if they focus some carries instead of Mundo, they might be able to get more. Oh, man, LeBlanc going aggressive. Will pick up the kill, but nice job picking up the revenge. But now they're in trouble. They're just having Zaun trying to tank everything.
Oh my, that Janna flash juke. Yeah. That was pretty sick.
Yeah, they get the clean ace. Well, not clean. They cost them 3 people. Yeah. So
I'm surprised that Zaun got aced. I don't think they should have lost. Maybe it's because the ADCs aren't strong enough yet. They are only at 3 items, and Jinx did not have Last Whisper yet.
Yeah.
So I guess the team with more tanks will win, because we're only 30 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I think so. You've been saying, Zaun outscales. Well, I think they outscale on the individual champion level, but as on a team level, you look at the game. The most important thing late game isn't how much damage you put out. It's not, all your items matter, but not nearly to the extent that, your positioning setting up for the team fight. Because once you hit that late game, gold levels tend to even out, or even if they aren't even out, they're going to mean very little. And so late game, yeah, you can have a lot of damage, but if you don't have the proper tools you need to set up a team fight, I think you still don't outscale, just because if late game you have that damage, but team fight wise, Noxus just charges in and blows up your team and gets onto those carries, they're not gonna have the time to put out all that damage.
Oh, that is true. That is very true, actually.
So on a champion level, they outscale, but on a team level, I don't think they quite do. I think Noxus on a team level outscales just because of that.
Yeah, to factor it in, I guess Zaun doesn't really have any engage tools other than the Twitch going in, throwing slow on people.
We've seen him try to do that, and it very quickly results in his death. He hasn't been able to auto attack for very long in teamfights, which he loves to put out auto attacks. He loves getting that spray and pray, or it's rat-tat-tat now. But getting that ultimate and just putting tons of auto attacks for the entire enemy team, and he can't do that because he's just dying.
Yeah, and Mundo's ult is being reduced, its effectiveness, because Draven's picked up the Executioner's Calling and Mortal Reminder.
Yeah. Did Darius got that Mortal Reminder? Wow.
Oh, he did! He did! Good job, Darius. Mike disagrees with it, but I support you for that.
I don't think that was the right call, but hey, if you really, really want to take out Mundo and not care about taking out some other people on the Zaun team, it does help.
Looks like there's going to be a fight for Dragon. We'll see how it goes. Morgana binds onto the ADC.
Noxus does not have their team in position for a fight. You see, they have 3 people in the river. Oh man, they're engaging 4v5. This is a huge risk. They're focusing on the Mundo. This is looking very bad, but somehow they're still in this.
He's alive.
Oh yeah, that did not go well.
It's 2.
Yeah,
2 kills for the Draven.
How did Zaun not win that? I'm a little confused on the exact details, but it looks like they're going to take out this Jinx. But basically... Oh, wait, more happening. Nice Zonias.
Zonias. They're so low. 3 of them are so low. They're blinking red.
Now I can...
Why is they so close? I think Zaun can win these. They're like 1 Jinx auto away from picking up 2 more kills.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, that fight, it started off, it was 4 on Noxus versus 5 of Zaun. They went for the engage, and they have that aggressive engage, but it really mostly got all burnt on the Mundo, and then they spent a lot of time in that initial part of the fight just focusing the Mundo. And so, it felt like Noxus or Zaun should have won that, but then Zaun made the same mistake. They focused all their damage onto Sion, so it kind of canceled out Noxus' mistake of just burning everything on the Mundo. And then a big factor was, Draven, we saw him, he was low for a lot of that fight, but Draven, with those empowered Qs, and a Bloodthirster, and getting crits off, which he does have quite a bit of crit chance right now with his items, he can heal up his entire health bar with a single auto attack. It's like, you get him low, then he hits you with one axe, and his health bar is back to 100%. He has amazing lifesteal in that sense, and so he's very hard to kill in a fight if he manages to start getting some damage out. And that was a big thing.
Yeah. Also, because even though the fight was a 4v5 in the beginning, Simi is playing LeBlanc, an assassin. It's okay if the assassin comes in late into the fight. Generally speaking, that's what you want to do as an assassin. Wait for the enemy to blow all their cooldown.
Yeah, if you go in as an assassin at the start of the fight.
Oh my.
Oh wow.
That did half HP to both the mid laner and the jungler.
Yeah, that is what Draven does. Like, his late game, I mean, yeah, he doesn't scale as great, but he can hit his late game before so many other champions, and then he is just, I've seen him, like take out 95% of another carry's health bar with a single Q auto attack, and it's just ridiculous. I've seen Draven in games where like a Zed, like the Draven's fed and the Zed's also kind of fed, but then the Zed goes in on the Draven with the ultimate, and then Draven will just lifesteal through everything Zed puts out, and it's ridiculous. It's like, it's just so crazy what Draven can do. Like, he's not supposed to be as good of a late game as this, but because he just got to his late game before everyone else, he's just doing crazy.
Right. I think it'll take the Zed about 2.5 seconds to... Oh, LeBlanc goes down. That is a very good pickup. Very good pick. This will be a 4v5. Baron is up. Zaun is bot lane. No teleport. That's the jungler bot. Two kills. They're still going 3.
Yeah, they managed to finally get some picks. Noxus, just basically, split up. Now they're going Baron.
It's okay to split up. But yeah, they're going Baron. That'll be safe. So like, it's okay to be pushing bot. There is a free tower there for Noxus, but you want Darius with the teleport first of all to be split pushing because he has teleport, and you also want your team to not pick a fight, to not get caught out, especially against Zaun, whose only engaged tool is the Twitch.
Yeah.
Like, it was a very good by random to get the pick off in the first place, but that is a mistake by Noxus, and it does cost them the Baron.
Like, a lot of times when you're in the lead, you gotta start thinking, like, okay, I can do this strategy, but do I need to? Like, they have that, potential split push, which, first off, like you said, yeah, you want the guy with the teleport to be doing that. And then secondly, it's like, do we even need to, do a split push? Because when you do a split push, it sets up, a scenario where you're trying to, out-rotate them on the map. But you don't need to, and you just risk, people getting picked off because your team isn't grouped. If you have a, strong enough hold on the game, you just want to stick as 5 and just, because they shouldn't be able to beat you in a team fight, so you just stick as 5 and you don't really have any way to lose. Meanwhile, they do pick off that Mundo.
So we saw Mundo getting picked off top. They sent a lot of people there, but Zaun's unable to punish. They can't really pick up any towers because the minion waves weren't in place yet. With the tank down, if there is any engage by Noxus, Zaun will die, like, completely.
Yeah. So
even though the Zaun ult is down, you still run the risk of a flash Orgbind, or a flash Darius pull, or even a LeBlanc, maybe.
Yeah, LeBlanc can get those chains down. So,
so recalls can't be cancelled within the last 0.25 seconds of its channel.
I've had a couple times where I'll see that happen in a game, and they get that last quarter of a second. They get that auto attack off to interrupt the recall, but then it still goes through, and the person's mad, like, I should have interrupted that. It's like, well, no, it doesn't quite work that way. Meanwhile, now Zaun kind of split up. They weren't split up in that they were all over the map. They were all in mid lane. But you have one part of the team way farther ahead of the other part of the team, and Noxus just starts, picking them off. Darius isn't even there. He doesn't need to be. They got the great start to the fight. and they're just going to start rolling. Hell, Darius should stop trying to push bot lane, rotate mid, just because they can run it up mid lane and take some inhibitor towers. Possibly end the game, depending on how things play out. Most likely not, but it is a possibility.
Yeah, and that's the thing with positioning. When you have your tank in the back and your ADC in the front, it's not going to work out. Your ADC will die. You got
and now Zaun
off though. He's going down.
He flashed and he still goes down. Oh, that's the worst. That's always the worst when you flash and you still die anyways. You're like, I just wasted a summer spell.
That was a good pickup. That'll help save the game. Maybe they'll be able to pull bot inhibitor. They should be able to, unless there's a pick here.
Oh man, Jinx out fighting the LeBlanc in a 1v1. And now Darius tries to help out. He gets picked off. So Noxus not quite playing all that smart there. They took risks they did not need to take, and now that gave Zaun an opportunity to pick up some kills. And they're looking for that Elder Dragon.
I think if we were maybe 15 minutes earlier into the game, the LeBlanc going in would have been a good idea, because assassins do want to 1v1 the ADC, but at this point in the game, when the ADC is at full items, is rocking on Phantom Dancer, like, you just can't. It takes around 2 to 3 seconds for an assassin to kill an ADC, and since they have lifesteal and then resist, you can't dive unless you have help with your team.
Exactly. Morgana, I'm not sure why she was standing around there. I mean,
I think Evil wanted to steal the dragon with like a lucky bind or whatever, but she got caught out in the end.
Can they kill him through it? Flashing to get in range for the expunge! So yeah, Noxus making several costly mistakes in the last couple minutes here. And now Zaun looking to try and take control of this game. The gold lead is now about 3k. That is nothing at this point in the game. 3k is absolutely nothing. Not to mention, some champions are hitting, full build. And once everyone's full build, gold lead means absolutely nothing. So
they're split up though. Victor went top, Jinx went mid. So you had tanking the tower, but no one was there to do damage to the tower. There's a difference in what you want to do when people die late game. I think in this case they wanted to push out the minion waves first, but then Mundo and Janna were like, let's take the tower, which you can do if you had the ADC, but they didn't.
So I think what the teams need to focus on doing here is Noxus needs to start realizing, like, okay, our mistakes that cost us a bunch of stuff in that last couple minutes that just played out, is they started splitting up and just not sticking to their team fight, in which they have an overwhelming advantage. They've shown that. So they just need to stick to what works for them, which is stay together and just force Zaun to fight you as a team, in which case you've won every single fight like that this game. So that's what they need to do. What Zaun needs to do is they need to just try to do something to make sure Noxus doesn't start grouping again. I think the best way to do that would be it's very risky because you're sending your tank away, but try get Mundo to split push, and that would encourage Noxus to not have everyone grouped up in one lane, and try and work that to your advantage and pick people off. And now fight's breaking out. It's very messy. Zaun's grouped up, but Nox is getting all the right people onto the wow.
That's gonna be 3 down.
Yeah.
EDC for Noxus, and Zaun also goes down as well. It's a 3 against 2, but main damage dealers are down. LeBlanc doesn't really do that much damage right now, to be honest. So they will get inhibitor. I don't know if they'll be able to get the game overall because they don't have any damage. They have Mundo to help protect and Janna to shield towers. It should be okay. Plus no minion waves. There's never a minion wave in place in this game.
So yeah, all they have is that inhibitor. That's it. They just kind of need to back off after that and reset. Use this time to set up vision. Yeah,
they're gonna set up Baron probably.
Yeah.
So the tank here, they kind of went around the Mundo in a sense, because Mundo was all the way in the front. fighting someone else. I didn't really see who.
Yeah.
And then they went on the ADC, the supports. I still think Zaun could win these team fights though. I really do believe in them. Like if they played the team fight optimally, like they have the tank in the front, they have the ADCs doing damage in the back, or even if the Twitch gets the pick off on the Draven, if they like.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, there's so much potential.
I really think what Zaun needs to do is, in the head-on team fight, Noxus is winning that. And so they need to get a fight that doesn't start the way Noxus wants, which is going to be pretty hard if Noxus plays smart. And so I think really Zaun's best option is get Mindo split pushing, and they send like, you know, Darius to stop that. But Mundo, we were seeing, has able to just take on Darius head-on and win every time. Of course, that it's been a while since then, so that might change. But you know, have Mundo fight Darius in the side lane. Mundo starts winning. They start trying to rotate top to help Darius out, and then while they're rotating, try and pick them off. And now the fight's breaking out. Mundo or Sion taking a lot of damage. He flashes out, still goes down, and this is looking great.
The Twitch.
Twitch lived through a fight. That was huge.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, I'm gonna back that up and watch it in slow-mo.
Alright, go for it. I'll tell you that the game probably ended. just go over it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a surrender actually.
Oh, surrender vote. Alright. By
Are you
Noxus.
still gonna go over it?
I'm gonna go slow-mo through fight. So there's fight setting up, it's about to happen. Not quite happening yet. Oh, it's kind of starting. Alright. Slow motion time. So Darius, or Draven, throws out the spinning axes, only really hits the Jinx. Doesn't even do that much damage to her. And let's see, so the fight kind of stops, and now Sion and Mundo go in. Yeah, Sion just gets focused down with no one to back him up other than Darius. No one is putting out damage. Sion's just taking free damage. And now here comes the LeBlanc. She backs out. She's taking a ton of damage from the Twitch. Can't respond to it. Draven trying to go in, but he can't put out enough damage. He gets CC'd away from the ADCs. And now it's all about Draven trying to kill everybody. And you can't fight against two ADCs plus a Victor. He can't keep up with that amount of damage. Especially when he's vulnerable to damage himself, because there's no more tanks to help block Zaun. And yeah, Zaun just, you know, finishes off that last bit of health, and it's a quadra kill for Twitch.
Alright, congrats to Random picking up a quadra kill, making up for the flash engage earlier on.
Yeah, that was just yeah, really what happened was it wasn't one team fight. It was like, yeah, it was one team fight, but it wasn't a single team fight in the sense that it was Sion was in by himself, got killed, then LeBlanc was, you know, the only person fighting, she got killed, and then Draven was the only person fighting because he got zoned out multiple times before getting into the fight, be able to hit the people on the enemy team. And so finally he's in the fight, the big damage carry that everyone's afraid of. But it was too late. Everyone else was essentially dead by the time he was able to actually get in there. So it's just like, it was a grouped up Noxus team that fought one person after the other instead of 5 people.
And that really does emulate, I mean, that does explain their like play style. It's always been jump on one person like throughout this entire game. You get a pick, you gotta jump on that person, we're gonna kill that person. If they come at you, you gotta focus that one person down. But the thing with Zaun is that they have 3 damage threats. They have Twitch, they have the Jinx, they have the Victor. Yeah. So if they couldn't like bring them down, then
and you have to
also late game came in.
You have to give a lot of props that last fight. Mundo and Jaina did a great job of keeping that Draven zoned out of the fight for so long. Mundo was right up in Draven's face, making it hard for him to go for, you know, the Jinx or the Twitch or even the Victor. Those were the people he wanted to get, but Mundo was up in his face. And then Draven got in there, and then Jaina hit the ult, and Draven got knocked back. It was a really good job, those two, zoning him out to make that fight possible.
Right. Props to you guys, Rex, Magos, unspoken heroes, supports, tanks.
I mean, as far as what could be done better by both teams, Noxus gave up a lot of ground where they by just not sticking as a team and not trying to force team fights, which is what was winning them the game up to that point. So they lost a lot of ground leading up to that last fight near Baron, just by not sticking to a team fight that worked. So that's the biggest mistakes they made. As for Zaun, I think they got the lead. They had the first lead of the game because, like I was saying earlier, at the beginning of the game, the early game was just like, okay, Nox is up by 1,000, now Zaun's up by 1,000. No one's really in the lead. Finally, Zaun got the first real lead where they were up by 5K, won that first team fight, got the unofficial ace. It would have been an ace, but Morgana just respawned a little too soon. And so they got the lead, but then they messed up. They got picked and then tried to fight 4v5, which just went badly. And that kind of set up Noxus to win several more team fights after that. That got Noxus kind of in control of the game. And so, yeah, I think those were the big mistakes they made. Stuff they did right was obviously Noxus kind of started realizing, oh yeah, team fights, we are winning. And then Zaun did right was it really just kind of clicked at the end there, like, wait, Darius not going to do that much damage. Sion not doing damage. LeBlanc, she can't even assassinate an ADC just because of the scaling that's happened throughout this game. All we got to worry about is Draven, so if we just keep Draven out of the fight, we're going to be able to kill them with 2 ADCs ripping through them and a Victor to help them out.
Yep, I think that sums up the game pretty perfectly.
Yeah. So you want to do an MVP real quick, just because I remember yesterday Pinky was mad that you didn't do an MVP.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you don't remember that? Like, at the start of the game 2 lobby, Pinky was, like, all mad that we didn't give a real MVP because we gave it to the minions. And Pinky was like, if I wanted to play a factions or a League of Legends game and not be judged by people, I wouldn't be in the featured matches. I'd be just playing a norms game. So
does he want to be judged by having a 5-13 score?
Well, he's got 18 assists.
No, that doesn't count. All right, thank you.
But
we won't judge you for this game, though.
Yeah.
All right, we'll play it cool.
Yeah. We'll do an MVP though. How about that?
MVP?
Let's do an MVP for both teams. One for each team.
Yeah, whoever made that Baron call for Noxus while they were doing the drag, you're MVP. I don't know who it was, but whoever made that Baron call, that got you guys in the game. That was brilliant call.
Yeah.
Good job on that.
I want... Oh, sorry.
Who do you want to give it to?
For Zaun? Because you just did the Zaun one, so I'll do a Zaun one also.
I did Noxus, I think. The Noxus Baron. That was a good one. While Zaun
I
was
thought
doing the dragon.
Oh, I thought you were doing the Zaun Baron call. Alright, so the Noxus one then. Alright, so yours was whoever made that Baron call. Mine will be... okay, I want to give it to either Draven or Morgana. I can't quite decide which one I want to give it to. But basically, it's like Draven was definitely the threat that game. And... So that makes me want to give it to Draven, but also I think Morgana did a good job helping set up Draven to get fed. So like Morgana was a big part in getting Draven ahead. So I'm kind of torn between the two. And I guess I'll give it to Morgana just because supports don't get enough love. So I'll say Morgana MVP for helping set Draven up to just start snowballing.
All right, sounds good. And for Zaun, I'll give it to Minimath. Actually, he had the least amount of deaths, which means he was the one getting least picked off.
Yeah.
Plus, he's new here, so yeah. First time you get to be MVP. Congrats.
I will say, like, I think he definitely did a good job in that. He was very consistent throughout the game. He was consistently just in the right spot and not putting himself in a bad position. Like, you could, like, oh yeah, but Twitch got 16 kills. Yeah, but he also got 12 deaths and constantly was getting the first one killed in a team fight by flashing into the middle of them. It's like, Twitch was like, the guy who did a lot but also costs a lot. Victor's just like, I'm just gonna be consistent and just make sure I do the smart stuff all the time. So I get that. As for my MVP, I gotta say, basically everything was down to that last fight. That everything before that kind of didn't matter. It was like that last fight was kind of like the single thing and end of the game. Everything before that was just setting it up to get to that last fight. And so the person who I think did the most in there in that last fight is kind of between Mundo and Janna, because they were the ones.
They didn't do the damage though. Did
But
you
they
not see the play of the game? Twitch quadra kill.
Yeah, Twitch got the quadra kill, but it was Mundo and Janna that were kept saying, "No, Draven, you're not in this fight yet. You're not allowed to fight yet." Mundo was in Draven's face. Janna was CCing Draven. So I want to give it to one of them. I'll go with Janna because she has 33 assists, where Mundo only has 17. So yeah.
Okay.
So I'll give
to
them.
our DPS players, I do apologize. I am biased against DPS, so I am sorry for that.
I mean, I'm not trying to put anything away from Nom getting that quadra kill. I don't
Or
want anyone.
Soda did work.
Yeah, or so. I don't want to make it sound like I'm acting like they didn't do nothing. But it's just like that last fight, it was all about keeping Draven out of the fight for so long so that Jinx and Twitch could put out that damage. And the people who made that possible were the Janna and Mundo, just keeping, Draven, you're not fighting yet. Wait your turn. And so yeah, that's why I'll give it to the Janna.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. With that, though, I think that will wrap up the stream. Yeah, a rather long analysis section at the end here. But yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll wrap
Stay
it
tuned
up
for game 2.
Yeah, game 2. Stick around, guys.